You're listening to Danny on What the Heck podcast. This is the place where I share my experience, knowledge, and skills.
Yeah, let's do it.
Welcome along to What the Heck podcast. I'm privileged to have in front of me is Jay the comedian.
Hey, what's up, everybody? How y'all doing?
He's volunteered his time to answer 12 of my lame questions. Let's see how we get on. We get straight into the questions, by the way.
Okay.
So, okay, here's the first one, mate. Have you ever had a nickname?
Have I ever had a nickname? I actually did have a nickname. It's really funny because I'm an ex-Jehovah's Witness, but people used to call me J-Dub, but not because I was a Jehovah Witness. I was really good at basketball. And in America, when you score 2 points is called a dub. And my name is Jay. So people call me J-Dub on the basketball court, though. Only on the basketball court, nowhere else.
I've actually, when I was looking at your Facebook page earlier on, I noticed you've got lots of clips of Facebook. What's that thing called? Basketball?
Oh, yeah, basketball. Yeah, I love basketball. I love playing it. And it's one of my joys of my life.
Because we've got one Kiwi guy that's actually really good at the moment. I don't know. I don't follow the basketball, but do you know who he is?
A Kiwi guy? No.
He's massive, man. Well, they're all massive, aren't they? But he's
I don't know any small basketball players.
Right, that's as far as my basketball knowledge goes. So I'll get on to the next question. We've got 12 questions.
Let's go.
What's the biggest gift that you've ever been given? What's the best gift you've ever been given?
The best gift I've ever been given. We were talking earlier, and I told you that I'm into film and stuff like that. My wife got me this. It's gonna sound whack, but she just got me this book bag to hold all my camera gear in, and it made everything so much better. Like all my equipment was just right there, and I can get to it. And it's the sentimental value of it more than anything else that it was able to. Like I still got the bag to this day, and it's like I've kind of outgrown it. You know what I mean? Yeah. But that's probably like sentimentally one of the best gifts I ever got. And funny thing, my first Christmas gift of my entire life. That was the first one. Yeah. So, it was dope.
The funny thing is I collect bags as well because I'm a techno man and I travel a lot. Yeah. So every time I travel, I sort of get a new bag to carry my latest gadgets around.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I remember that was my first gadget bag. I got more, but that was my first one, and I appreciate that one.
What's your favorite bit of technology then?
My favorite technology. Wow, that's hard. I don't know. I guess cameras, but I feel like if I think about it hard enough and long enough, it's gonna be something else. Yeah. But right now, I really enjoy a really nice camera that has a really good, crisp picture, and it's not too difficult to understand and figure out. So right now, cameras. Yeah. I love cameras.
Yeah, I've just we've upgraded ours to a Sony A6 400s.
Okay.
And just the mirrorless cameras, and I do a lot of street photography, and I love it because my partner's a professional photographer, and she's got the big Canon cameras that weigh a ton. But when we go out traveling, we always grab these little wee cameras, and they're amazing.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I deal with Canon. Like I have a bunch of Canon cameras. Like I got it's a camera that not a lot of people have, and I don't even know if they still make them anymore. But it's called an XC10. It's a 4K camera, and it's really cool, but I got it right when it came out. Now I think they kind of discontinued it. But it's a dope camera. I like it.
Yeah, no, they're pretty cool, and I really quite enjoy the photo. So let's go. Let's see. What's the most daring thing that you've ever done?
The most daring thing, like scary wise?
Well, what's freaked you out the most in life?
Okay. I told a story. I told a story about this, but so I stole a camera. Which is weird because you just asked me what was the technology I like. But I once one. I think it was something. It was okay. So it was a camera. It was a square camera, but the side you could turn it like that, right? It was a video camera.
Yeah, it's a Sony CyberShot.
I maybe I forget. It was.
I used to have one. They're brilliant. You can hold it like this, and you turn it, and you can look.
Yeah, you can turn it up and down. Yeah. So that camera right there. I was working at this store, and It was one of those stores that sell groceries, electronics, everything, right? And everybody in that store was stealing. Like everybody would steal, right? And I just like, nah, I wouldn't steal. But then I saw that camera. I'm like, okay, I think I'm gonna try it.
Oh my God.
So I took the camera and I put it
What the hell,
inside.
bro?
I know, right? I was like 16. I don't even know if I was that old.
Yeah.
Like I was a little kid. So I took the camera and I put it inside the shopping cart. And it was my job to push out all the shopping carts. And I was thinking like, there's no way that they expect that. So I pushed it out. And when it went through alarm, the alarm was like, rah, rah, rah. And then security was like, don't worry about it. It's always some like random piece of like security equipment inside the cart. So just go. So I was able to get it out. That was the most daring thing. I was scared the entire time. I'm talking about my heart was like pounding out of my chest.
I remember when I was a kid, we had a day playing out in the warmth, and we had water pistols, and I lost the plug. And so I went into a toy shop, and my mate knew that I said I need a plug. So I took it and went home, and then he told his mum, and I had to go all the way back to the toy shop and give tell the guy I stole the end of the plug that goes into a water pistol.
Oh man,
good Jehovah's Witness family there, mate.
Oh yeah. My conscience, when I did what I did, my conscience was like, oh, I felt so bad for so long. I got over it though.
That's good. All right, next question. What's the biggest fear? What is your biggest fear and why? What are you fearful of?
My biggest fear is probably like just losing somebody that I love. Like, that's it. Like just losing like, somebody who I need in my life. You know what I mean? That's my biggest fear. That's the thing that keeps me up at night. The fact that I can't protect everybody like all the time, like to lose somebody in some tragic way is probably my biggest fear.
Yeah. And I think it's more precious for people like ourselves who are ex-Jehovah's Witnesses. You've said 10 years, I'm about 28 years, whatever it is. But friends and relationships don't come easy. And when you get them, they're very precious. So that's a really good answer, I feel.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, do you collect anything?
Do I click anything?
Collect, my Kiwi accent.
Collect. Do I collect anything? Do I collect anything?
Are you a hoarder?
That's the thing. I am a hoarder, but I don't collect. I don't think there's like one thing I'm like, oh, look, there's that. I gotta have it. But I'm scared to throw stuff away because I have a bad habit of seeing something all the time, right? And being like, I don't even need this. I see this all the time. I never need it. And I throw it away. And the moment I throw it away, that's when I need it, So I have a hard time throwing stuff away.
What about when you were a kid? Did you collect things?
I did once collect basketball cards. I had an entire book of basketball cards, and somebody stole it.
I used to collect keys, and I had about 800 keys, and I nailed them all up on the bedroom wall at home, and they're all lined up.
Really? Like special keys?
Well, no, some of them were old antique keys. I like the big long ones with the fancy stuff in it. And,
the little turn. Okay.
And then one day we thought we had a burglar in our house, and the police let the police dogs into our house to have a look through. And then they went into my bedroom, and they just saw a wall of keys, and they said, "What do you do with these?" Okay.
They're like, oh, is this like to the bodies? Are these the keys to all the bodies you chopped up?
Yeah, that's right. You find the bodies, you can use the keys. Now, I don't know if you're a big traveler. So when travel starts again, where in the world would you travel to next? Which is a big question.
Somewhere tropical. I went to Puerto Vallarta, Mexico.
All right, cool.
Oh my God.
Did you climb over the wall?
Did I climb out of the wall?
Over the wall.
Oh, over the wall. I flew over the wall.
Ah.
But yeah, that wall was tall though. But no, Puerto Vallarta, Mexico was so gorgeous. I want to go to Bali.
Oh yeah, yep. A lot of Australians go there.
Oh yeah? Have you ever been?
No, I haven't. I've traveled a lot, but I haven't been to Bali.
Yeah, I want to go to Bali, or I want to go to South Africa. I want to try somewhere tropical because, you know, I'm from Chicago, Illinois. It's like 18 feet of snow outside right now.
Yeah, right. Wow.
So I do not go anywhere cold on vacations or any type of travel. I only do tropical places.
Yeah, I went to Chicago. That's got lots of museums. Am I right?
Lots of museums, lots of restaurants, lots of nightlife, you know, like clubs and stuff like that, which really sucks to go through COVID because, you know, oh man, the industries here are really suffering because that's what most of it was, like tourists, nightlife, food and stuff like that. That's what Chicago's known for, you know, so this COVID stuff is rough.
Yeah, and is it getting better?
There has been, like, we're entering stage 4 again, meaning that things have gotten better. We've gotten to a point to whereas we can sit inside of restaurants. I think they're at like 20% though capacity. Like you can only have 20% of the people you could, you know, have its full capacity. And you know, the food industry, if you have like to-go food, technology, thanks to like, you know, Grubhub and stuff like that, people who deliver food, they've been doing really good. So the food's been doing okay. The restaurant's been taking a bit of a hit. But oh man, I just can't wait till it's over. I cannot wait.
I mean, we got locked down for a month, and some of you guys have been 10 plus months.
Oh yeah. I mean, we stay at home orders was like, man, we just missed the entire summer. The entire summer was gone. I didn't enjoy the summer at all. So it's
the end is near, mate. The end is near. It's a sign of the times.
The Great Tribulation, right?
Here's one for you. What was your first job?
My first job, I worked at a shoe store. The place called Athletic Attic. That was the name of the place. And we showed gym shoes in there. And my best accomplishment there was I had a day where I sold over $1,000 worth of merchandise. I sold it all myself, and I got like a big commission on my paycheck. But yeah, that was my first job. I sold shoes.
Cool. Now, I was watching a video just before I got you on here, and you were talking about Tony Morris, who's one of the governing body, and I noticed that you homed in on his shoes.
Yeah, I paid attention to shoes.
Yeah, that was really funny. That was really good.
Yeah, I look at shoes. I'm not a big shoe guy. I like shoes and I look at them. I don't purchase them myself though. That's the one thing that. Oh, I used to collect shoes. I used to, when I was young and dumb, I used to buy shoes and wear them. I don't know if it's collecting them if I wore them all the time. So.
I don't know if it's in my questions, but actually literally one of my questions is how many pair of shoes do you have? So if it is, you have to pretend you didn't answer that one. What sort of impact do you believe that you have on people?
I would like to believe that I can bring joy and information at the same time. Like, I hope that when people hear me and see me and watch my content, that one, they're entertained, and two, they learn something that they could use to help them in life or to just help other people too. So hopefully that's what I hope I'm giving off to people. Yeah.
Now I've got a niece. Her name is Jasmine Eve, and she'll be watching this, and she watches everything that you do, she says. So you want to say a special hello to a Jasmine Eve?
Jasmine Eve, what's up? I appreciate you watching. I appreciate the support. Anytime anybody watches our content and our message get out, I appreciate it. So thank you for watching, and you got my appreciation and love.
Awesome. She'll think that was amazing. I won't tell her. I'll make sure, because often when you produce a lot of content, people say they watched it, but they don't watch it all the way through.
Right. Yeah, something special for you right in the middle, so you got to watch it.
Yeah. All right, here goes a funny one for a comedian. What makes you laugh the most?
Oh, what makes me laugh the most? My kids.
Yeah.
It's always the thing that I find funny is randomness. Like if somebody says something, the more random it is, for some reason, the more funny it is, you know? Like if somebody came up to me and they're like, haha, you got nice shoulders or something like that. I'm like, what? What does that even mean? And one of the things I do in my video is that I'll compliment a random body part.
A belly button.
Yeah, like just
belly
random.
That Yeah, well, I think there was a couple of days ago, and you said something about smelling. How does your belly button smell, or something like that?
Like you have a very nice smelling belly button.
Yeah.
Because the randomness of it is personally to me hilarious, and just hearing random things is really funny. And my kids have mastered that. Just saying random stuff at random times. It's the funniest thing in the world. So my kids are pretty. They're some of the funniest people I've ever met in my life.
I think being a good comedian is actually what I see with you doing is you listen. Really, you've got to listen, and you've got to take it in, process it, and then speak.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. And you have to be able to look at things in a way that everybody sees, but they may not notice. You know what I mean? Like the really, really good comedians can do that. They could see something that everybody else sees every single day, but they don't notice that one thing that they're seeing, and they can make it funny, you know?
Yeah.
Like comedians that could do that, they're the best. Dave Chappelle, like other people, Jerry Seinfeld, people who see the same stuff that you see, they see it in a different way though, you know? So yeah, you have to listen to what's going on around you, and you have to have a really good talent of seeing things that somehow nobody else sees. It's hard to do.
And I've watched them explain the same story, you know, explaining a story that's not even funny, just the way they use their mannerisms, their body language. You know, a lot of us now, I mean, with the YouTube videos and all that, no one sees our body, they just see our face. And if you have a mask on, it's even worse. But being able to get that facial expression across from your
Right. Yeah. It's so funny because 90% of the interactions, at least where I'm at in Chicago, is people smiling at you. That's it. It's just a smile. It's not a hi, it's not a bye. It's just an acknowledging smile. But when you got a mask on, it's just a bunch of people just squinting their eyes at you like this. You know? It's just like, I think you're smiling, but you could just be a crazy person. I don't know. You know, so
you have sunglasses on, that's even worse.
Oh yeah, you can't see that at all.
All right, so we're going to put you in a bottle, and they're going to put a warning label on you. What would your warning label say?
Warning, could be inappropriate at times. My sense of humor can be very, very inappropriate. Like I find some stuff funny that I probably shouldn't, you know? Like I thought that I probably shouldn't even say this, but like when people got Ebola, they literally died from Dukian to death. Like every time I think about it, it's just so funny. Like you could die from Dukian to death. Like that's messed up. But it's like I'm inappropriate. I laugh at stuff that I probably shouldn't. And yeah, that's the warning label you get with me. I have crazy stuff makes me laugh.
How long have you been a comedian for? Like, when did you start? Have you always wanted to be?
I've probably been doing this for about 2-3 years now. I've always been a person who liked to make people laugh and you know what I mean, and tell jokes and just point out things that I find funny. And the more I did it, and the more I've seen people enjoy it. And people been telling me for years, like, hey, you should just do a set. You should do a set. So I got in my car and I started, like, on the way back and forth to work, I just say some funny stuff that I thought of and see what reaction it got. And I was getting some pretty good reactions from it. And I was just like, well, let me try a set. And I went up and I did my first, I actually recorded it and put it on my YouTube page. My first set I ever did. And I did pretty good. I mean, it was decent, you know? And I'm like, I really like this. I really enjoy it. So I've been doing it since then.
That's awesome, man. It really is good. And it means so much. I mean, I'm dyslexic and I often can't pronounce people's names properly and I get things wrong. But because of my sense of humor, you can get away with murder.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And it's like, and it's amazing what you can get away with a smile on your face, you know?
Yeah. I think I have like attention deficit where it's really hard for me to pay attention to stuff unless I'm like extreme, like, you know what I mean? Like it's hard for me to focus on one thing. My attention is easily diverted. And yeah, I do the same stuff. I mess up words and I stumble over what I'm saying. But half of the time as I'm stumbling, I laugh because I find it funny that I couldn't get that out. And then I'm able to, it's like people never even notice, you know, like I'll stumble over something, chuckle a little bit, and then just complete my full thought that I was trying to say. And so, yeah, I get exactly what you're saying. I do the same thing.
2 more questions, mate. If you could go back in time, what year would you travel back to? So Back to the Future. Where we going?
To the future. If I could go back, I don't know exactly what year would it be, but I would like to go back to when I was 18, like right after I graduated high school. You know what I mean? Because I think it was at that point in my life to whereas if I knew then what I know now, I would have the best life in the world. And it's not even like me cheating and like starting Google or starting Apple or something like that. Like just basically what I know now. And like I could probably wake up more of my family. I could probably wake up more people that I love. And I could probably have a way bigger career if I would have started at 18. That'd
Do you
been
think you would listen to yourself though? If you drilled yourself and you went back and you said, hey Jay, listen to this. This is what you want to do. Like, okay.
Back then, I think I would have given, because even back then, stuff didn't make sense to me, but I wasn't speaking about it because I felt like, it's the greatest sin is to speak negatively of the Holy Spirit. That's the worst thing you could do. But I still thought like critically about stuff, and I didn't agree with certain things. It just didn't line up with me logically. So I think that if today me would have talked to my 18-year-old self and explained the stuff, I think I would have been receptive to it.
I think my life did start at 23, and I'm the king of starting over again, because it's like, you say to somebody, you're going to dump you on this worldly planet and you're going to start fresh your life with no friends, no job, and a few $100s in the bank if I was lucky. And I've got to somehow make my way in life with no support. It's like amazing.
That is amazing, man. And I always tell like people, because a lot of ex-Jehovah Witnesses, they feel that that they're weak, or they feel like they're dumb for falling for the stuff outside the organization. And I just got to remind them, like, you know how strong and amazing you have to be to leave that organization and recover, because you were born and bred and literally engineered to fail outside the organization.
Yeah, right.
So
too, right.
Exactly. So if you're able to leave that organization and proceed in life, you are strong, you are amazing, and you have the ability to do anything you put your mind to. So I always like just throw that out there whenever, people could just point out, that they're happy that they are where they are now, because you got to be strong. You have to be really strong to lead that organization.
Well, my last question could be a goodie then. What superpower would you like to have?
Superpower. Something boring. Like, it just be invincibility. Like, that's it.
I like to see through clothes.
Nah, just straight, nothing else, invincibility. Like, nothing could kill me, because I one of the things I hate in life is feeling helpless, feeling like there's nothing that I can do. You know what I mean? Like, I would like to be able to just see something wrong happening and go there and stop it, and nobody could stop me from stopping it because you can't kill me. You know what I mean? Like, you can't restrain me or nothing. So I guess I had to be strong too then. It'd be a mixture. Strength and invincibility.
Good stuff, mate. So you've answered my 12 questions, and if people haven't figured out what we're doing here is Jake and I have common interests. We both used to be Jehovah's Witnesses, and and we saw the light. I got kicked. Did you get kicked out, or did you get asked to leave nicely?
I left on my own. I faded away.
I
faded out. Yeah, absolutely. It was, after a while, I just felt like, they don't, once I learned the stuff that I learned, I was like, they don't even deserve a letter of, me saying bye. Like, oh, you don't deserve it. I'm just gonna leave. Bye. Like, I'm mad that I even wasted that much time here.
So, and is your family all wound up in it as well, and your friends you grew
Yeah,
up with?
yeah. I have a few older siblings who are completely awakened and who have left the organization, but not enough. I got, like, my family is large. I have 11 brothers and sisters.
Wow.
So there's a lot of us, and my mother is still in. My father passed away, but he died. He was a believer when he died. And a lot of my siblings are still in, but a couple of them aren't. And the ones that aren't, even the ones that's in, they love me, and they know what I do, and they just don't question me on it. They just don't bring it up. But other than that, we have a good thing going. So I don't like try to force nothing on them or try to like get them to wake up. I'm just there for them if they have any questions or if they need to talk. So
Yeah, and you
that's all
don't
I
get
can
the
do.
little magazines on your doorstep every now and again, or
And that
somebody
did, like,
wishes?
my sister once sent somebody over to invite me to the memorial. I made a video about it.
Yeah, good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool. No, I love your content. It's really cool, and that's making people laugh. Helps them. If you had to give somebody advice who've just got out of it, because a lot of people, like, I haven't really got into the XJW community, but now I have, even 28 years later. There's tons of support out there. There's lots of Zoom rooms. I think I actually saw you put together a comedian Zoom meeting about 3 weeks ago. Were you a
Yeah, it
part of
was a
that?
comment.
And it
Yeah.
kept getting bombed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a shame, because I had that problem too. And these idiots keep bombing you, and they're not
Yeah.
even creative comedians. So
Nah, they
yeah,
just irritating, and they ain't got nothing else better to do, I guess. But um if anybody who has left the organization, like for anybody who's about to leave, I always say before you leave, make sure you do not need nothing from anybody inside the organization. So that means you need to plan, you need to save up your money, you need to find a good secure living location, you need to find a job that's not like, you know, necessary for you to be a Jehovah, like you got to be a Jehovah Witness to keep this job. You need to find and secure a life for yourself outside the organization, because once you leave, you can't come back, you know.
you
And
can't.
I also, for anybody who has left already, who's just newly out, I always tell people to that with the brainwashing you've been through, the brainwashing that was, used to attack you, you don't know everything about how they attacked you. So look up how they attack you. Listen to XJWs, and because I know it's therapeutic for me. And the more that I learned about how they attack me, the easier it is to get over, and easier it is to get on with life. So um, there are things that I know that I'm still like working on and suffering through, but the more I do my research and the more I like talk to like-minded people, or just
Yeah.
people who've had the same experience I have and who's further along in their journey after leaving, it's very helpful. So I would advise anybody to like take those steps and learn what happened to them, and learn like different steps and techniques to get over it.
I went to there's 5 of us when we grew up, and we were called the Rat Pack, and we were naughty Jehovah's Witnesses, man. And I remember
Hey.
one of my mates got killed by a truck driver that blacked out.
Oh
And so
no.
I went to pay my respects at the memorial service, and I walked in. There's about 300 Jehovah's Witnesses, and I'm the disfellowshipped one walking in there. And people were coming up to me and talking to me and saying hello. Some just got on with it and treated me like normal at a funeral, And
Yeah.
then my old boss come up to me and told me to leave because people didn't know that I was disfellowshipped, and they're talking to you. And I said, it's not my religion, mate. And I said, you can put a
Right.
sign around my neck. I'm all good. But when
Right.
I left there, the mother of the guy that died come up to me and thanked me for being there.
For
And
showing up.
she said, I know how hard it would have been, but after that experience, I went outside and I just broke down, because you sometimes don't realize how much this stuff is all around you. And and all of a sudden it hit me like a brick that what I'd been through. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
just
My
sad.
uncle passed away, and I attended his funeral. He was a Jehovah Witness, and One thing that always upset me and still upset me to this day is how they take funerals and they turn them into recruitment meetings.
Yeah.
You know, it's not about the person that died. They just they use an opportunity to get new people. Like, hey, you can see this person again if you come to and I had to sit through that, you know, and I remember how uncomfortable and angry I felt doing it, but I know why it happened and whatnot, and I know why they're doing what they're doing. So it makes it a little bit easier to deal with. But man, it's a hard pill to swallow, you know. But it just confirms stuff that we already know, that it's a cult, it's dangerous, and we're doing the right thing by speaking out about it.
Yeah, and I can see what you've got, a nice family by the look of it. You've got a nice life, and you've got your life back, and you can live life. I mean, with the J-Dub thing, you're continuously putting life on hold, and you're wasting your life.
Yeah,
and
you're literally waiting to die.
yeah.
Or for everybody else to die, right? One or the other.
Yeah, and people in the world are like bad people, and it's the first thing I really valued is forming some good, trusted friendships with people, and you know, and I've got amazing support around me. You know, I've got I actually help a lot of people myself, and you know, just socially who aren't very good at socializing. You just get people out there, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, good stuff, mate. Really enjoyed interviewing you. I won't hold you up. Is it afternoon there?
It's night here. It's about 8 o'clock at night now. Almost 8 o'clock. About 15 minutes.
We're 2:45 in the afternoon, and we're in the future.
I know, right? Yeah. You guys are way ahead of us.
Yeah, no, I really appreciate your time, mate. And it's so nice that you said yes when I asked you to come on my podcast, and it's been a privilege to have you on the show. So,
hey, I completely appreciate it, man. Invite me back anytime. We got to do this again. I love it.
Yeah, well, I'll get better at podcasts, and I'll probably be a bit more better at it. I'll have better questions, more personal ones.
Hey, that'll work. I like the random ones too. Those are very entertaining.
Yeah. No, good stuff.